This is BBC One, where it's time to join Elizabeth Watts and Wayne Jackman for Play School.
Get ready to play.
What's the day?
It's Wednesday. Hello. I wonder what vegetables the rabbits would like to eat today. What about some cabbage? Got some cabbage? Ooh, she's hungry. Got some carrot here as well. What about some carrot? Put it all down here. They can have it later on. Can you see? This is a new rabbit today. Just turn around and you can see her. She's a new visitor to Play School and her name is Becky. She's very like Mopsy here, the same colouring, because she's the same kind of rabbit called a Dutch rabbit. And also, she's Mopsy's cousin. Buffy's getting a little too old to come to Play School every week, so Becky's going to come instead. She's the hungry one today too. They seem to be getting on well together.
Here we are, Sparky. Would you like some of that? Go on, tuck in. There we are. Hold it with your paw, maybe. Hello. Katoo and Sparky are here today in Play School. She's enjoying that bit of celery there. Do you know, Katoo and Sparky are from the same family of birds called cockatoos. Can you see that their feathers are mostly white, but at the top here, if I can just push it up a little bit. Oh, sorry. Try again. You see there's a yellow crest. Beautiful, bright yellow feathers. Go on, I'll leave you alone. You can tuck into that celery. Now, here's Katoo. I wonder if he will like a bit of celery. Got some here. Here we are, Katoo. Look at that. He likes celery as well. Must be a real treat for them. And Katoo, well, he's only a little bit smaller than Sparky, and he's got the same feathers. Can you see? He's got a yellow crest at the top of his head. Sometimes when cockatoos are excited, they raise that up to make it look a bit like an Indian headdress. But, you know, Katoo has to stay in his cage when Katoo and Sparky are here together because sometimes he might be a little bit naughty and start a scrap. So he's much better off safely in here.
You are. Got some carrot. About a little bit of cabbage. These small animals are called gerbils. They're a little bit like mice, only can you see they've got furry tails. This is a family of gerbils here. We've got the father, this is the big black one here, and his name's Sooty. And then the little baby ones, they're called the sweeps. Yes, they're getting on well together too.
There. That's the back legs. Here's some pretend food for pretend animals. And here comes one of those pretend animals. Do you know what it is? I suppose if you ask a passing bird her utterly favourite food, she'd tweet that she fancied a big fat slug and a variety of tiny bugs. A wriggly worm, wah, wah, or perhaps a fly. Well, all I can do is wonder why. 'Cause it doesn't seem much of a treat to me, much of a treat to me. I like jelly and cream for tea, jelly and cream for tea. Now then, what's this? Oh, here's another one. Oh, I'm starving, are you?
I'm ravenous.
Yeah. I suppose if you ask two passing beasts their utterly favourite food, they'd howl that they fancied a smelly sock and mysterious things inside a box. And perhaps a sprinkling of bright pink paint. The thought of that makes me feel quite faint. Oh, here, hang on, I'm getting my sock and clearing out.
Well, it doesn't seem much of a treat to me, much of a treat to me. I like jelly and cream for tea, jelly and cream for tea. Jelly and cream for me.
Well, this is what the toys like for their tea. Glasses of orange and some cookies. And cookies is another name for biscuits. They look rather delicious. I think I'll have some cookies for my tea a bit later. And it's tea time today in the story, which is called The Doorbell Rang. I've made some cookies for tea, said Ma. Good, said Victoria and Sam. We're starving. Share them between yourselves, said Ma. I made plenty. Well, that's 6 each, said Sam and Victoria. They look as good as Grandma's, said Victoria. They smell as good as Grandma's, said Sam. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Tom and Hannah from next door. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. Well, that's 3 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your Grandma's, said Tom. And look as good, said Hannah. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Peter and his little brother. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. Well, that's 2 each, said Victoria and Sam. They look as good as your Grandma's, said Peter, and smell as good. Nobody makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Joy and Simon, with their 4 cousins. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. Well, that's 1 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your Grandma's, said Joy. And look as good, said Simon. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. And rang. Oh dear, said Ma, as the children stared at the cookies on their plates. Perhaps you'd better eat them before we open the door. We'll wait, said Sam. It was Grandma, with an enormous tray of cookies. Oh, how nice to have so many friends to share them with, said Grandma. It's a good thing I made a lot. And no one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang.
Girls and boys, toys. As you can see on the show tonight, there's lots of food. Pictures and pictures of it. Chicken and chips and beans. As you can see there, we've got 2 pictures with chicken and chips on, and that's the idea of this game. If we get 2 cards with the same food on, you have to shout out, and the one who shouts out first is the winner. So, shuffle the cards. So, here's your first card, little Ted. Green beans. Chicken and chips. Chicken and chips, and that's 1 point to little Ted. Here's your next card. It's a jelly. An apple. No. Some orange squash. Green beans. Are we going to get another pear? There's a tomato. Tomato! And that's 1 point to Humpty. It's neck and neck. Here's your next card, little Ted. It's a pear. There's an apple. And another pear. Plate of biscuits. Biscuits! Another point to little Ted. Little Ted's got 2 points now. Here's your next card. Some orange squash. Hot potato. I wonder who's going to win. There's a jelly. Another hot potato. Here's your last card. Banana. And that's another point to Humpty. So it's a draw.
Bean, celery, carrot, banana. The idea of this game is to guess which is the odd one out. Well, it's a little bit difficult because they're all rather long things, but think about what family each thing belongs to. What about this bean? That's a vegetable. The celery, that's a vegetable. And the carrot, yes, that's a vegetable. But the banana is a fruit. So the banana is the odd one out. Do you know where bananas grow? They don't grow in this country. They grow overseas in very hot countries on trees with very, very large leaves. And there's a photograph of a banana tree here. Well, look. Can you see all the bananas at the top here? They're all rather green. And look, they're pointing upwards. And then further down the tree, there's an enormous pink flower. I think it's one of the biggest flowers I've ever seen. And just in there, can you see some little tiny bananas? Whoops. Just beginning to grow. And eventually they'll turn upwards and grow towards the sky. For bananas to be eaten in this country, they have to go on a very long journey. And through the window today, you can see how they arrive here. Have a look.